The real reason Gabriel Jesus has been left out of Arsenal's Champions League squad has been revealed. It is that time of year where Mikel Arteta has had to submit his squad list for Arsenal's upcoming Champions League campaign. Max Daumann has been named in the Champions League squad submitted to UEFA, meaning he could become the youngest player in the competition if he makes an appearance. Arteta's men came so close to creating club history by winning the competition for the first time last season, as they were narrowly beaten in the semi-final by eventual winners PSG. Eagle-eyed Arsenal fans would have noticed that Gabriel Jesus has not been named in the European squad despite being expected back to some action before the end of the calendar year. Journalist Charles Watts has explained the reason. Speaking on the latest episode of Inside Arsenal, Watts has explained that Arsenal are refusing to rush Jesus back from knee surgery, and there has been no setback in his recovery. Jesus suffered an ACL injury during the FA Cup clash with Manchester United back in January, and is now back on the grass working with a ball. Eyebrows were raised by some fans when the Brazilian was omitted from the Champions League squad. However, it is just the club not wanting to put pressure on his return. Watts stated, "This immediately in my mind goes to conspiracy theories, and other people's mind goes to conspiracy theories. Like, what does this mean he's leaving, or Arsenal about to sell him or loan him, and that's why they didn't bother include him." People said, and I thought it as well, like, has there been a setback that we don't know about yet that hasn't emerged? Has he injured his knee again? Is he definitely not going to be available until the end of January? Is that why they haven't included him? So immediately your mind goes to those conspiracy theories. But I'm told absolutely that is not the case. He is on his way back. He should be back by the end of the league phase, but Arsenal just didn't want to rush it. If he could be back by with like 2 or 3 games to go, would he be fit really? You know, he'd be back available, but would he really be fit to be able to start and make an impact in the Champions League? I'm just told that they just decided he's not. We don't want to rush him. We don't want to put any undue pressure on him, and as long as he's, he'll be included when knockout squads are submitted. And so there is, as far as I'm aware, there's no conspiracy theory. Gabriel Jesus could yet play a huge part for Arsenal this season. Jesus has been labeled as the most skillful player in Arsenal's squad by Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. If the Brazilian international can get himself fit once again, he could give Arteta's side an injection of enthusiasm just at the right time towards the latter stages of the season. Ian Wright loves Jesus, and nobody will ever forget the initial impact he had on the team when he arrived alongside Oleksandr Zinchenko in 2022. The season is just beginning, and Jesus is as determined as ever to get back out on the pitch and show Gunners supporters exactly what they have been missing. Arsenal could still make a major sale after the window has closed. Club want underrated star. The European transfer window closed on Monday, yet Arsenal could still make a major sale in the coming days. The Gunners were busy throughout the summer, signing 8 players and spending an excess of £250 million in the process. Victor Gyökeres arrived from Sporting CP for £63 million as one of the marquee additions, while Noni Madueke, Eberechi Eze, and Martin Zubimendi all also signed for more than £50 million. Andrea Berta was able to shift several players on deadline day, although most of these were loan deals, with the Gunners hardly generating any money through sales. Besiktas have made an offer for Leandro Trossard. Arsenal's squad is arguably bloated in attacking areas. The Gunners have 8 forward players to fill 3 positions, and thus could arguably do with selling one to ensure squad members aren't left with too few minutes. Gabriel Jesus is recovering from an ACL injury and therefore likely hasn't attracted any suitors. However, Arsenal could sell Leandro Trossard, and it appears they may actually have a chance of doing so, despite the window already closing. The Turkish transfer window doesn't close until the 12th of September, and Besiktas are understood to be interested in the Belgian. According to Sözcüspor, the Istanbul club have made an offer worth €22 million, £19 million for Trossard. Arsenal are currently weighing up the offer, with a response expected soon. It remains to be seen whether the Gunners are open to selling the winger, who was said to be close to agreeing a pay rise at the Emirates. Trossard has been described as underrated previously, and has certainly been a great servant to Arsenal. Signed from Brighton for just £27 million in January 2023, the 30-year-old has provided provided great value for money, scoring 17 goals in all competitions during the 2023/24 season. However, as shown by the data below, the Belgium international has shown signs of decline in the last 2 seasons. While his creative numbers remained similar last season compared to the campaign prior, his shot volume declined significantly, as did his expected goals per 90 minutes. Not as capable at finding himself in dangerous positions inside the box, these numbers are only likely to get worse as he gets older. Thus, Arsenal should cash in on Trossard while they still can. £13 million player says he has a regret after signing for Arsenal. He wishes it was different. Indeed, while Arsenal fans were very excited about each of their signings this summer, on the opposite side, there were clubs and fan bases who weren't happy about losing star players. Brentford fans weren't happy to lose Christian Norgard after a difficult summer of departures, while Sporting CP made life difficult for Victor Gyökeres before his move to Arsenal. Christian Mosquera also had a strange time when leaving Valencia, as the club threw him under the bus somewhat with their statement upon his departure, writing, "Valencia CF and Arsenal FC have reached an agreement for the transfer of Christian Mosquera to the English club. This decision comes as a result of the clear and unequivocal desire expressed by the player, who has made it clear he did not wish to renew his contract with Valencia CF and expressed his exclusive intention to join Arsenal FC. Inevitably, Valencia fans weren't too pleased about this, and speaking to Cadena Sayar, Mosquera has been discussing his move to Arsenal, and he says he does have a regret about how things ended at Valencia. The defender says he wishes things were different after leaving his former club, suggesting that the statement the La Liga side put out didn't do him any favors. It's clear that when you leave what has been your home, you would like everything to be a little different. Both the statement and the things that have come out," Mosquera said. "I'm never going to speak badly of Valencia because I'm a Valencianista and it's a club that has given me everything. I would have liked it to have been a little different, but sometimes in football you have to look out for yourself, and there will be parts that you understand and others that you don't. I'm calm because every time I put on the Valencia shirt, I gave everything." Christian Mosquera's stats on Arsenal debut. Mosquera may have regrets about his departure from Valencia, but his move to Arsenal looks set to be a big success. Indeed, Mosquera earned praise after his debut against Manchester United at the weekend, and the stats back up what was a solid performance from the defender. It is a shame that Mosquera left Valencia in these circumstances, but the most important thing now is for the centre-back to carve out his own legacy at Arsenal. At just £13 million, Arsenal look to have got a great deal here. Mick McCarthy says Arsenal have a surprise star who will win Player of the Year. He's completely different. It's not only predictions about the Premier League table that are being spoken about. Some have predicted what Victor Gyökeres' goal-scoring tally will be in his first year at Arsenal, while others have made bold calls about the end-of-season awards. The latest to do so was Mick McCarthy, who shared his prediction for Player of the Year when speaking on the Manager's podcast alongside Tony Pulis. An Arsenal player hasn't won the award since Thierry Henry in 2006, but McCarthy thinks things will change come May. McCarthy believes one of Arsenal's summer signings could be a contender to win the prize. "I'd like to go for somebody completely different," he said. "I saw him come on yesterday, and if Arsenal are one of the top teams, which they should be, I think Ease will be a real great signing for them. I'm going for him, somebody completely different." The Player of the Season award has been dominated by Liverpool and Manchester City, with the last time a player from neither club won the award being in 2017. It would be a delight to see Ease shine enough in his debut season at Arsenal to win Player of the Year, but he'll have some fierce competition. The Premier League arguably boasts the highest density of world-class talent of any league in the world. It makes the end-of-the-season awards mean even more, as they're so highly contested. Declan Rice was nominated for Player of the Year for his efforts last season, but no matter how good the midfielder was, he was never going to usurp Mohamed Salah. Salah won the prize by contributing to 47 Premier League goals, topping both the goals and assists charts. Can Eze shock everyone and prove McCarthy's prediction to be right? The attacking midfielder has from now until May to show what he can do. And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!